আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL Soccer Night.
Welcome back, boys and girls. This is the second segment of the ILFL Soccer Night show. Just to wrap up what happened yesterday, I need to show you what happened in the First Division. 2 games took place, and here's the results here on your screen for you. Arsenal wrapped up their Summer League with a good win over Interasia by 4-2. Riverside beating Boundary by 3-1. Doesn't do much to the tables, except that it consolidates Arsenal in 3rd position, and I think they can call that quite a successful finish. They started badly but rallied and finished strongly, and well done to them for their first season in the Summer League. We look forward to seeing more of them in the future. Like we said, it's only between 2 teams, as you can see there, Ace and London Gaza. They've both got 2 games left to play, but the key one is the last game of the season for them, where they meet to decide who will be the divisional champions. We love it when a plan comes together and the divisions end up just like this. We've had goal difference here. It could be something completely similar or different here as well. Rashid's in the place. He's come to join us in the studio. Good evening, Rash.
Good evening.
Summarise the Premier Division and how it ended yesterday.
Well, yesterday was brilliant. I was obviously there watching both games. I was running between both games, watching how the Robin Hood Tigers and how Lotus were playing, and the taxing using, etc. The thing I looked at, the main thing I thought was different was the Lotus had the hunger, desire. They knew obviously Robin Hood had the advantage of 2 goals plus in goal differences, so they knew they'd have to give it, everything got and not hand over the trophy. And considering that Robin Hood Tigers in the winter season not many months ago lost the league, been top whole season, and the last day I think they lost to Riverside, I think 4-3, threw away the championship. I don't think they would have learned a lesson. But unfortunately, I know they might not like to hear this, they haven't learned the lesson, and hopefully this time they learn, because it's not over until the final whistle and it's over. And I think they didn't take it as seriously as Lotus. Lotus wanted to make sure till last minute, because I watched the players, the subs were getting the ball when it went off. They were actually collecting the ball, putting it on the spot, on the place kick. They were running and getting every single ball. Every single player gave 110%. And there was sweat and desire and the passion there. When I went to the other game, first half, it was casual, they were trying, but not giving 100%. It's only when they realize the goal difference is going to the other side. Second half, they stepped it up, but I think they left it too late. So I think one of the things, key lessons for Robin Hood Tigers will be for the management to make sure, emphasize it's not over until it's over, and you have to wait till the final whistle. And hopefully they learn from this second time round and don't repeat the same mistake.
Absolutely. The First Division as well we're moving to now. We're looking forward to a good little tear-up between Ace and Gaza.
To be honest, yeah, Ace and Gaza, the 2 top teams in the whole league, and not this Sunday, the following Sunday 16th, they meet each other. I think that obviously that's the decider. Both are very attacking, very strong, very skillful, so looking forward to that. Interesting with both divisions is obviously we're leaving till last week to make sure, so it shows the competitiveness of the league, and hopefully we'll have a cracking game on the 16th of August.
Let's move and turn our attentions now to the Veterans League that takes place. It's the ILFL and Shanali Otis Veterans League that takes place every Monday and a Thursday. We've got fixtures happening tonight. We'll turn our attention to those in a little while. But first, let's take a look at the results from last week. And first here we go in the Premier Division. Beaumont and Abahani, interestingly, played a 0-0 draw, or maybe that was just to be expected. Sire beat Bromley Legends by the odd goal. Stepney beating Tower Hamlets by 2-0. Tigers beating Weavers by the same margin. I'm going to turn to you, Nanu, and no real surprises. It's just business as usual.
It is business as usual for some teams, and other teams, it's a slight change and a culture shock, seeing some of the new teams. But, I've been looking at the results from last Thursday. Not a single team has actually scored more than 3 goals. So it just shows how competitive this division is. It's just brilliant. If you look at Beaumont, Masters and Abahani, I think Beaumont have probably done quite well against Abahani to come out with a draw, because Abahani looks seriously strong this season. It was one of my favourite teams this season.
Changed the way that they play in the Vets League. I mean, because before it used to be they're either going to win or they're either going to lose, and now they're a little bit cagey, a little bit more. It just seems like a little bit more thoughtful about their games now.
It looks like they're scoring slightly more goals than the previous season, maybe just 1 extra, this summer season. I mean, traditionally what they do is they come on the pitch, They look fantastic. They make all the right moves. They show all the determination. They do all the hard work. They score a goal, and then they all go back in a line and start defending, and that's how they lose it. This season, I've seen them managing to go into the second half, you know, pretty much in the middle, trying to, you know, do some more attacking, but they're still, you know, old habits die hard. The saying goes that, you know, they're still defending. If they're winning, they should continue winning. You know, that's how we would get far. But apparently, they're not doing that. And you know,
I think what you have to point out is the Premiership or the Vets League is very, very competitive. I think that's a key thing, and all the teams are very, very strong. Even the two teams promoted, like so Weavers and Stepney, very good teams. So I don't think it's much about how the teams perform. I think the league itself is very competitive, because if you look at the results, you would have thought Saya would be probably, but Saya are a very good side. I'm surprised with Weavers. I was expecting more from them. With Stepney, you know, these teams are very competitive. So I think the league, the Premiership especially, is getting so strong, it's hard to predict which way it's going to go. So I don't think it's too much about players. I think it's the competitiveness of the league, which is the key point here.
Maybe so, but I just wonder whether, when I look at the results and maybe the way that teams are playing, it's like some teams seem to be scared of losing, because it's almost as if they feel like if they lose, then it's a slippery slope.
One thing I've noticed is with the Vets, it's very the striker is very hard to score, because obviously it's on the side, there's smaller goals. I think that's where a lot of the teams are lacking in scoring goals. The passing is good, possession is good, defense is good, but the team with the quality strikers, they have the advantage. That's why you probably see Tigers, because they have 2 or 3 players playing up front. If you look at those goals scored, you find them scoring most of the goals in both divisions. The others, they all strike for, struggling for a clinical striker. But in terms of structure, team players, I think Premiership is very, very strong. So with the results, I don't think you can say how other teams will perform. I think the league itself is very, very competitive, especially the Premiership.
Now, Rash spoke about Saya and them being a good team. It was something that we were saying last season. The back end of the season, they finished really strong and showed what a good team they are. Didn't start, you know, a bit of a slow start, but, you know, an odd goal wins against Bromley. It's 3 points.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Saya, like I said, you know, like some of the other teams, they kind of follow a similar pattern, don't they? You know, previous season, Dabahani, we see that they attack and then they kind of lose the mojo. And then with Saya, they started in the beginning of the season and then they end up quite strong. So we said this, you know, week in, week out. You know, if Saya could get a good start in the beginning of the season, then they could be one of the favourites for the title contender, you know. But I think it might be slightly too late for that now, because teams have moved on. You know, you get Tigers and Abahani right at the top. You've got Bromley there as well, and then Saya's what, 5th place or something. You know, it's not in a good position to be in. You know, especially so early on in the season. If you want to be at the top, and if you want to go for a title challenge, it's the first few games that actually matters the most, in my own opinion. Still
a long way to go. And speaking of good starts, Stepney had a good start, good fixture against Tower Hamlets. Tower Hamlets, notoriously now slow starters, having a poor start to the season again, but Stepney still had to turn up and beat them, and a 2-0 win is a fair result. I think it's a fair result, considering that the Tower Hamlets team isn't the same team that we saw in the previous seasons. You know, it's a completely different team. They've lost some of the players. If they don't get those players back or enhance the team and then get some of the new players in, and I don't think they're going to do any good. You know, to be honest with you, Stepney came in with a strong team. They were quite determined. They knew that Tower Hamlets were going to field the weaker team, so they took all the advantage and they came in with confidence and scored 2 goals. And congratulations to them for winning that game. Are Stepney in their comfort zone now? We shouldn't forget that they've come up from the first division, but are they a Premier Division side sitting in their comfort zone?
Stepney's a massive club, a well-established club for over years, and I think the key thing is because last year they played in Division 1, that gave them the little advantage they needed to get used to the system, because other teams have been around for a few years now. And I think that has helped them to understand the seven-side, because seven-side is completely different. When a lot of players come in, playing in the side, they become a vet and they come to this league, they struggle. But because they already played Division 1, and being promoted, they actually established themselves, and they've got a lot of few players. It's a massive club, and they've got a lot of pool of players, and the players have got a quality players, so I'm not surprised with the result, and they will compete with a lot of teams and make a difference in the Premiership.
I have to say, I think what has been a great signing for them, if anything, now this season, is that what they didn't have for a lot of last season's First Division is the introduction of Sham in goal now, which I think will make a huge difference.
Recently qualified as well, that's why you got a lot of new players coming in. So I think the same applies to a lot of other teams, because there are a lot of 33, 34 waiting in the wings the last year and a half, and now they turn 35, they're jumping in and taking the chances. And I think a lot of teams will see getting more stronger because of more the demand for it, and the players, everyone wants to play in the Vets, and they just can't wait.
Tigers beat Weavers by 2-0. We say everything that we can say about Tigers, so I'm not going to say too much about them. We're going to move to the First Division now and look at the results from the First Division last week. Beaumont Masters B, 4-1. Where did that come from? Rash can tell us in a little while. Redbridge went down by 4-1 to Bernardos, and we keep saying, is this the resurgence of Bernardos, and will they go a season unbeaten as they did previously when they first come into the Vets League? Mostyn went down by 3-0 to St Catherine's, and I know the man on my right is not going to be happy about that. I'll let him calm down before he has something to say about it in a little while. Another 0-0 draw, well, maybe that's a good point for the Shadwell Masters, getting a point against Revive, who did very well. I think Revive beat Redbridge the week before. Yeah, and so for Shadwell to get a 0-0 draw...
I think that was a decent sort of result for Shadwell, considering how they've been performing. That's a great result for Shadwell, isn't it? I mean, Shadwell can do more. I mean, let's face it, they're a stronger team. They're probably fielding one of the strongest sides, you know, in that division. It's just that they haven't had this time to gel together.
No, I think because we played them week before, luck is not on their side. I think when we beat them 2-1, they were 1-0 up and they played a better football. They deserve to win. It's just, as I said before, it's about finishing off your chances, and they didn't, and we had one, and we won the game 2-1. But if I was being honest, if I looked over the game, I'll have to say they were the better side. They had more chances, more possession, but the best team lost. So I think in the first couple of weeks they had struggled with players, but now it's just a matter of getting the team gelling and performing. They have got the squad, they have got the players, they have got quality. It's just on the day making sure they get the results.
Redbridge going down to Bernardos. I mean, let's not talk about Redbridge going down. Let's just talk about the resurgence of Bernardos. They're quietly and efficiently going about their job.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it was, you know, we kind of predicted early on in the season that, you know, that team, it took them 2 seasons to restructure, getting some of the new players and finding some of the old players that left originally. They're all back again, back in action, full of spirit, full of energy, and they're hungry. They want to win as well. Yeah,
to be honest, I think the top 2, even before the season started, we predicted are the strongest in that division. Other teams in that division can beat them on a given day. With a couple of players in Bernardos, they can actually play in the Premiership. So they're playing for Bernardos because of loyalties, but that just goes to show why they're top of the league in Division 1.
Here is the First Division table as it stands for the Vets, and as we can see, Bernardos and St Catherine's are the 2 teams sitting at the top. It's there for you on your screen. Bernardos are sitting top with 15 points. St Catherine's behind them on 13. Revive, Beaumont and Redbridge all clumped together along with Mostyn, who are hanging on to that mid-table group. In the Premier Division, it looks like this. Tigers still top, Aberhani second, 2 points behind them. And the Stepney Legends with that 1 defeat are just behind on 8 points alongside the Beaumont Masters. It's all tight and all tough down at the bottom. Tower Hamlets Vets have got 2 points. Primarily, it's Weavers that are sitting at the bottom there with just the 1 draw making up the point that they have. So what can we tell you about what's going to happen tonight? Well, tonight I think we have... here it is. In the Premier Division, we have a game which is between Stepney and Weavers. And looking at the table, it should be a done deal for Stepney Legends, but we know football doesn't quite work like that. There is one game in the First Division taking place as well, but let's have a look at what's happening on Thursday there in the Prem. Bromley Legends take on London Tigers, the Sire Vets take on Beaumont Masters, and Tower Hamlets take on Aberhani. And as a mid-table clash, Sire need it to try and bring themselves close. Beaumont need to consolidate themselves. A quick prediction there, Rash?
I think it'll be a tight game. I think 1 goal will settle that result either way.
Well,
hopefully Beaumont's way.
And Bromley will not want to repeat what happened to them in the last season against London Tigers. They'll be looking to bounce back because they're falling away very, very quickly. The First Division game is Bernardo Legends versus Revive. That'll be a good game this evening. I'm going down there to watch that one. And then on Thursday, we've got Mostyn against Beaumont Masters, Riverside against Shadwell, St Catherine's against FC Redbridge. Jim, is this the game for Mostyn to bounce back?
30 seconds, go on.
Very difficult one because we've been struggling, no excuses, but we've been struggling with players. We just about fielded the Bear 7 on Thursday, but to be fair, we were beaten by a very good side. Having said that, I'm under the impression a couple of players are back from injury. few are back from holiday, so I'm expecting a better performance this week.
I think I'm expecting it as well, because I think Beaumont Masters could be stopped in their tracks there on Thursday, but that's me sticking my neck out. Don't tweet, text, put anything on Facebook about what I've just said, because I often get it wrong. That is everything that's happening in the Vets League. We've run through everything in the summer. We've got a short third section coming up, so we'll give you the fixtures that are going to come this Sunday in that section of the show, and just remind you of a small event happening on the 10th of September as well. That's all to come in the third section of the ILFL Soccer Night Show. We'll be back after these.
আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL Soccer Night।